Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world where gods walked among mortals, meddled in their affairs, and shaped the destinies of entire civilizations? Well, for the ancient Greeks, this wasn't just a fantasy. It was their reality. Their pantheon of gods wasn't just a collection of cool stories. It was the very bedrock of their society, influencing everything from their laws and politics to their art and daily rituals. Today, we diving deep into the fascinating world of ancient Greece to explore how these powerful deities didn't just inspire an empire, they actively shaped it. Let's start at the top, literally on Mount Olympus. At the head of this divine family was Zeus, the king of the gods, wielder of the thunderbolt, and the ultimate symbol of power and justice. For the Greeks, Zeus wasn't some distant, abstract concept. He was the divine authority, the celestial king whose reign mirrored the structure of their own city-states. Rulers and kings on earth were seen as deriving their authority from Zeus. To defy a king was in a way to defy the king of the gods himself. This divine endorsement gave earthly rulers immense legitimacy. Laws weren't just human constructs. They were believed to be divinely inspired, reflecting the cosmic order established by Zeus. This belief system created a powerful social glue, uniting people under a shared sense of justice and order, all sanctioned from the heavens. Think about it. When your legal system is backed by the god of thunder, you're probably going to think twice before breaking the rules. But it wasn't all about power and law. The Greek gods had a rich and complex family life, full of drama, love, and jealousy. Sound familiar? This made them incredibly relatable. Take Hera, Zeus's wife and the goddess of marriage and family. She was a powerful queen in her own right, but she was also portrayed as fiercely protective of the institution of marriage. Her stories, often involving her punishing Zeus's many lovers, served as moral tales. They reinforced the sanctity of marriage and family, which were the core units of Greek society. By celebrating Hera, the Greeks were celebrating the values of loyalty and commitment that held their communities together. Temples to Hera were not just places of worship. They were statements about the importance of family in building a strong and stable society. Now, let's talk about war and strategy. Two things the Greeks knew a lot about. Who better to turn to than Ares, the god of war, and Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare? These two sibling deities represent a fascinating duality in the Greek approach to conflict. Ares was all about the brutal, chaotic, and bloody side of battle. He represented the raw fury and aggression needed to win. Soldiers would make sacrifices to Ares, hoping to channel his ferocious spirit on the battlefield. But the Greeks were smart. They knew that brute force alone wasn't enough. That's where Athena comes in. She was the patron goddess of Athens, one of the most powerful city-states in history. Unlike her brother, Athena represented the intelligent side of war, strategy, tactics, and the wisdom to know when to fight and when to seek peace. The Athenians built the magnificent Parthenon in her honor, a testament to their belief that intellect and reason were just as important as military might. This balance between Ares and Athena reflects a deep understanding of human nature and conflict. An empire needs soldiers with the courage of Ares, but it also needs generals with the wisdom of Athena to lead them. This divine duo shaped the Greek military into one of the most effective fighting forces of the ancient world. Beyond the battlefield, the gods were woven into the fabric of everyday life and the economy. Poseidon, the mighty ruler of the seas, held immense power over a civilization that was fundamentally maritime. Greece, with its thousands of islands and extensive coastline, depended on the sea for trade, travel, and food. A calm sea meant prosperous trade routes and a bountiful catch for fishermen. A stormy sea, stirred by an angry Poseidon, could mean economic disaster and starvation. Sailors would never set out without offering a prayer or a sacrifice to the Earthshaker, hoping to earn his favor. His influence was so profound that entire coastal cities built grand temples to him, acknowledging that their very survival was in his hands. In this way, Poseidon didn't just rule the waves, he controlled the lifeblood of the Greek economy. And what about culture, art, and knowledge? This is where Apollo and Dionysus take center stage. Apollo, the god of music, poetry, prophecy, and knowledge, represented order, reason, and the pursuit of intellectual and artistic excellence. The Pythian Games, held in his honor at Delphi, were were just as famous as the Olympics and celebrated artistic skill alongside athletic prowess. His famous oracle at Delphi was the most important religious site in the entire Greek world. Kings and commoners alike would travel for weeks to seek Apollo's guidance on everything from military campaigns to personal matters. His influence pushed the Greeks to value harmony, clarity, and beauty in their art, architecture, and philosophy, laying the groundwork for Western civilization's aesthetic and intellectual traditions. But the Greeks also understood that life isn't all order and reason. That's why they also worshipped Dionysus, the god of wine, festivity, and ecstasy. Dionysus represented the wild, untamed, and emotional side of human nature. His festivals, known as the Dionysia, were wild celebrations involving wine, music, and dance. But they weren't just parties. These festivals were the birthplace of one of Greece's greatest contributions to the world, theater. Tragedies and comedies were performed in honor of Dionysus, exploring the deepest and most complex aspects of the human condition. By embracing both Apollo and Dionysus, the Greeks created a culture that was incredibly balanced. It celebrated both the rational mind and the passionate heart, creating a society that was intellectually rigorous yet deeply human and emotionally expressive. Even the simple act of farming was overseen by a deity. Demeter, the goddess of the harvest and agriculture, was one of the most beloved goddesses among the common people. Her myth, which explains the changing of the seasons through her grief over her daughter Persephone, connected the people directly to the cycles of nature. The Eleusinian mysteries, secret rites held in her honor, were some of the most sacred and important religious ceremonies in ancient Greece. They promised a better afterlife to initiates and provided a sense of hope and spiritual fulfillment. For an empire built on agriculture, keeping Demeter happy was a matter of life and death. Her worship ensured that the fields were fertile and the granaries were full, securing the foundation of the Greek economy and the well-being of its people. From the highest halls of power to the humblest farmer's field, the Greek gods were everywhere. They weren't just characters in myths. They were active participants in the creation of an empire. They provided a framework for justice, a model for family, a strategy for war, and a blueprint for a rich and balanced culture. They gave the Greeks a shared identity, a common purpose, and a way to understand their world and their place within it. The magnificent temples, the epic poems, the profound philosophies, all of it is a testament to a civilization that saw the divine in every aspect of life. The empire of ancient Greece may have crumbled long ago, but the echoes of its gods can still be heard. A powerful reminder of how belief can shape the course of history. Thanks for joining me on this journey back to ancient Greece. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments which Greek god is your favorite and why. Till next time, stay curious.